When you tell women, well, he was intimidated by you, then what you're doing is saying you don't need to do anything to improve yourself or a relationship. It's all his fault. And when you do so, you create a cycle where the woman continually gets disappointed in relationship after another. If when men give other men advice, the first thing we tell each other is no one's going to save you and you're accountable for your own solutions.
100%.
If you're getting advice from women about women and it does not include those two things, stop listening.
Good point.
Stop listening.
I like that.
You need to be the advice you understand is if you are consistent, if you complain to your therapist that the last 5 guys you dated were narcissists, it's not their fault. After 5, it's not their fault anymore. It's your fault. Yeah. There's something inside of you where your antenna is cross-wired, or you're not quite calibrated, or you're way too sensitive to certain stimuli, and you need to do something to fix it. And I've always, a piece of advice, another 2 pieces of advice I think I don't agree with, and it is very controversial. Number 1, just be yourself is utter and complete nonsense. If 80% of men are deemed unattractive by women, then just be yourself is a way for women to figure out who the losers are quicker. You need to be your most improved self in the gym every day, trying to build your business, trying to read 40 to 60 books a year. You need to be improving yourself. Just be yourself is horrible. And the second one is you're enough. No, you're not. You're not. You can believe you're enough if that makes you feel better because you're suffering from PTSD. But I promise you, if you're working a sales job and somebody tells you you're enough, you're going to lose your job. And if you keep believing, if you want to date a super beautiful woman and then you keep believing it's okay because I'm enough, she's going to leave you. Yeah. You're going to lose your job and you're going to lose your girl believing you are enough. No, we are valuable in this world because of the value we bring to other people. Totally. We realize it's not all about us. It's what value can I bring to others? And when I bring value to other people, then all the riches and status and all the networking and all the cool friends and all the cool travel places, they come to you. But we don't like to believe that humans are that shallow, when in reality, if you just look at any preliminary evidence, it's clear that they are.
Yeah, it's really good. You know, as you're speaking, I'm considering a lot of the instincts, even in my own self, just trying to reflect on my own existence. I'm 40 years old now, so I'm looking back on my life. Shit, I wish I would have had this mindset at 21. I'd be so deadly. But at 40 years old, like, I'm thriving as good as it gets. So it's really easy for me to frame some of the instincts I had as a kid growing up, the things that were my experiences that turned me into my reality. And you're right. The whole thing is right. I'm always trying to push the limits of what's possible, be that next version, understanding like the small details and why they matter so much, especially as it surrounds around environment, status, like the connection to all these things add up. And you can transform. I think the big point is that you're probably beneath the surface saying is that you can become that person quite quickly if you commit. It doesn't take long for a man to get status if he understands the rules to this game, right? Yeah.
So for men and women, gaining status as far as networking, business, leadership is concerned, these are definitely things that you can learn.
Sure.
And for men, we have a rite of passage. Almost all men have to go through it, whether or not you play on a football team, you join the military, or you're like the junior associate at a law firm. You always have to go some sort of rite of passage.
Sure.
Some women do too. I had 2 female squadron commanders while I was in the Air Force. They had to go through a rite of passage as well. So that's the case. But when it comes to attractiveness, men have to go through a rite of passage. Women, not so much. Women can play the game on easy mode. If you are a 19-year-old girl and you're very attractive, there's no rite of passage you have to go through. You don't need dating advice to become more attractive. And you don't need experience with men to get more men to want to date you. You're just attractive. As a man, though, we have to become a thing that other women find attractive.
Sure.
And that takes a lot of work.
Yeah, being broke and good looking as a man gets you nothing. Being broke and hot as a female gets you everything. Like it's a gateway into a mansion. If you're a female.
Eric, let's take this to an even darker place.
Okay.
How about the concept of this? If you're a man and you have autism, your likely, and you're just a normal dude in a vacuum. You're not super rich or good looking. If you're a man and you have autism and you try to approach women, you're going to have a really hard time.
Totally.
If you're an attractive woman with autism, men don't care. They don't care.
It's a dark place.
And I'm not trying to equate
you get it,
Amber Heard's
psychology.
autism, but like, I just